Hi, it's Bonnie, and today we're diving into the ins and outs of what you can expect on a back-to-back cruise. You know, this will be my 42nd cruise, and it could be a little bit different from one ship to the next or from one carrier to the next. So it's always kind of good to know what is happening. So if you're staying on the same ship for consecutive sailings, you might have some questions about this process. So I'll be answering those questions and sharing my personal experience to help you prepare for your next cruise adventure. So let's get started. So here's the city of CIVTAVECCHIA. It's a good hour from Rome. So what is a back-to-back cruise? A back-to-back cruise is when you stay on the same ship for 2 or more consecutive cruises. This means you don't have to pack and unpack between sailings, making this a seamless transition. And kind of like doubling up on the fun. And you simply stay on board and enjoy all the amenities. You don't have to unpack. You can just enjoy the day instead of being that embarkation day is alleviated and you just continue on as if it's another day in port. It's like starting a new adventure right where the last one ended. I experienced this on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas, transitioning from a transatlantic voyage from Miami to CIVTAVECCHIA directly into a 6-day Adriatic cruise, all while staying in the same cabin. It's disembarkation day, so the back-to-back transition is typically smooth. It's an easy transition, and Royal Caribbean made that very easy this time. We didn't even have to get off. You have the opportunity to stay on the ship, disembark and check out the area, go to Rome because we happen to be in Rome an hour away, or just, like I say, remain on board. Today we are going to be going to CIVTAVECCHIA, which is the city that's actually over here, and we'll be checking it out and seeing what's there. Originally I had an excursion booked, opened up a bus ride to Rome. It's $89 a person. They would drop you off at a certain area and then you would need to report back in time for the sail away. We're going to go to St. Peter's Basilica because apparently where they let us off, it's right by there. And I was okay with that up until this morning. And I know from previous experience it can be very busy there. So my suggestion to you is if you're wanting to do a Vatican, museums, and maybe the St. Peter's Basilica, do a tour and book it in advance, at least, 2 months in advance would be ideal because you'd get exactly what you're looking for. Everything was full, whereas I don't know where we're being let out and how far it is, and all these logistical problems. And I thought this is all because I didn't know about this in advance and they just offered it. So this morning I canceled. They would like you to cancel 48 hours in advance any tour, and it was less than that. I had to really push my issues with the shore excursion desk and explain that they didn't give me a lot of information and also that everything's sold out, so why would I want to stand in a 3-hour line? And so on. So not quite peak season yet, but I just don't want to take that risk. So we're just going to stay local this time. The board time is 3:30 today. So if we were to go visit Rome, we would have kind of a short day. People often ask, do you need to go through immigrations again? One of the conveniences of a back-to-back cruise is that you typically don't have to go through immigrations again, since your passport information is transferred over automatically. However, always double check with guest services to ensure that everything is in order. Basically, on the day of departure, which is tomorrow, they want you to check in on the app. So again, for immigrations, you'll need your SEAPASS card, your passport, and then you just report to the lounge. For my time, it's between 9 and 9:15, and then they will check me in. When you are going somewhere in the morning and you don't want to wait for your back-to-back time, you can check in the night before. And what we'll do is we'll check in at guest services and we bring our passport with us, and they'll give us a new SEAPASS card, and we'll get a transit card, and with that we can get off the ship whenever we want, and then we're allowed on at after 11 o'clock. According to guest services, when I talked to them, they said that my credit card will just transfer over from the other one I had, and also that my ID, my photo ID, should be good enough for this next cruise. Breakfast starts as early as 5:45 in the morning. They want everyone out of the room by 8 so they can start their cleaning and getting prepared for the new passengers. With back-to-back, And it was actually a really seamless process. I went down to guest services after 8 like they said, and then the cars weren't ready. It's a lot of people standing down there, and so we had to come back after 9. And then they did create a line for just the back-to-back people. And all they did was ask my room number, and I showed my card from before, and then they just gave me a new one. And then it's some in-transit cards because I'm going to get off, and that's all we have to do. The account will be billed in full and closed from this trip today. My 15-day trip will be closed out, and then it'll be reopened again as a new cruise. As far as getting back on, you just show your SEAPASS card and a photo ID. You don't even have to bring your passport. So it was that simple. My only issue was the dining. I had to go back to the dining room and talk to the people that I already know. And so all I can tell you is if you're not happy with your dining, just talk to the host. They're really nice, and they really know a lot more what's happening than most, because they have a big master plan there that they can look at. So she gave me a table for 2. And then first seating on this particular ship is at 6 o'clock, so it's changed from 5:15 to 6, and the second seating is at 8:30, which is kind of late, so I'd rather have it at 6. I needed to take it since I've been so persistent with this request for 15 days. That's how we had to do it. We didn't even need to get off the ship at all, so pretty easy. And like I say, there's 400 people doing the exact same thing. And that's what I've noticed. I hear a lot of people planning trips or doing other things when they take Transatlantic. Some are going, I heard someone going on a hike through a Camino. It's like a pilgrimage kind of walk, and then other people are going to a wedding, and someone else is going just to visit some places in Italy, the Cinque Terre area. And we have people going to Greece. I met a lady that's doing 5 cruises in a row. She started out in the Caribbean. So I mean, I'm just saying that you got all kinds of people doing all kinds of things. And then there's a lot of people that have never been to Europe, and this is their first time. So it's a good time of the year to come because it is nice weather. It's not peak season yet. They said everywhere I go, they say July and August is the terrible time to come. It's too hot, too many people. So keep that in mind, that spring is the best time to travel.
So what do you do with your things? Well, if you're staying in the same room for your back-to-back cruise, you don't need to pack up your things. You can leave everything in as is and enjoy your day while the ship transitions to the next cruise. This is one of the biggest perks of a back-to-back cruise. There is no need to worry about packing and unpacking.
If you are changing rooms, I'm staying in the same room because I didn't want to repack and unpack. But if you are changing rooms, you have to have your luggage ready by 9 a.m. the next day, tomorrow. So you would have to have everything packed up and ready to go. And then your stateroom attendant, you tell him where your new room is, and they will bring that over. You don't need to worry about a muster station drill since you've already done it and you know where it's located. But if you've changed rooms, you need to do another check-in for your muster station. You also want to make sure that if you vacate your room, you leave your safe open, obviously, and take everything. So it's like you're clearing the room and starting new again. Just make sure you get all your photos, all your purchases, clear out your safe, clear out your room, and be ready for your new room.
Is the cruise open during the cleaning times before the new passengers arrive? Yes, the ship remains open during the cleaning process, and you can enjoy the facility just as you would on any other day at port day. There was no special lunch for us. Some back-to-backs, they do special lunches for the back-to-back people. It was just a regular day. The buffet was open. I don't even remember if the main dining was open.
It's embarkation day. Everybody's waiting for their rooms at 1 o'clock. We just made a reservation at Azumi's to eat there because we liked it.
Then we have the traditional Adriatic. We only eat the...
That it's better to go talk to the restaurants for a reservation. That's what I did, and I got into Azumi's tonight, and they had 16 seats left in the Italian restaurant. But I think if you need something, it's good to talk to the people running their restaurants because
I don't know, they may have a bigger picture of things than say the downstairs people, and the line is less. Since I was familiar with the staff and the process, it was nice to have that time to relax and enjoy the sail away party and parade without any stress. I could just go over and make my reservation, so that's what I did. And also enjoy the ship. Take advantage of the time between cruises to relax, explore, and enjoy the ship's amenities without the usual rush of embarkation day. Apparently there are options to visit CIVTAVECCHIA on your own. You can take the public bus for €6 one way, and it's a 15-minute drive, 15-minute ride, and you have to pay cash, which would be euros, €6. Also a terminal shuttle bus to the front of the gate, and that is free, and that takes about 5 minutes, or it's 30 minutes walking. So apparently we're pretty within the gate area. It's quite a walk. I know from my own personal experience that I read about that people do walk from the train station or they take a taxi. So I'm just going to see how this works, and I will let you know. It's been going pretty smooth here. Nothing to complain about, really. Don't lose with too bad today. Elevators are packed. They've already let out the self-assist at 7:15. So let me share a bit more about my personal experience. Initially, I was told by guest services that my passport information would be fine and everything was good the night before, and then I also would not have to do a muster station drill since I was in the same room. Unfortunately, on embarkation day, my name was called over the ship's PA system, and it was just so surprising. I never have heard my name on board, and I had to report to guest services. I had to show my passport, and also I had to check in at the muster station. So even though they said you don't need to go through the drill again, you still need to check in there to have them check your name off the list. So there was a little bit of miscommunication, and I'm not sure why or what happened, but I transferred my passport information and basically the back-to-back procedure the night before, and I don't know what happened at the front desk. They told me I could do it there, but for some reason it didn't go through. So really double check that everything is in order, because you don't want that to happen to you. Additionally, at the end of the second cruise, I ran into an unexpected issue that I thought I would share with you. I do have a video actually that talks all about that and my whole debarkation experience. It was kind of a little rough for me. There was a lot of things going wrong, but despite transferring my credit card information over on the new cruise, it was at the same time I was doing my passport information at guest services. The system didn't process it correctly, or something happened, and I had to settle my bill at guest services. I was checking out to get off the ship, and they told me I couldn't get off. I had to go back upstairs and settle my bill. The delay caused me to stand back in a huge line. There was so much chaos at the front desk. I think their system was down and nobody could help me out very quickly, so I missed my bus. It was just kind of a real mess. And my advice to you would be, even if you have everything the night before, really double check with guest services a day or two before the end of your cruise to make sure that all your information has been properly transferred. I never had this problem before, but again, like I say, no matter how many cruises you do, every cruise is different, and I'm not sure what was the problem, but it caused a lot of people to get very upset because you have to go make your way back upstairs. The elevators are packed. Everybody has their luggage. Everyone's trying to get off. And here you have to go back upstairs and try to resettle things and then try to get back downstairs. So it was really a rough time, but I have a video on that, like I said, so check that out if you'd like to see exactly how that happened. Another tip for a smooth back-to-back cruise,
double check everything. Like I said, even if you already arranged your new SEAPASS card and your credit card information, just visit guest services a day or two before the cruise ends to ensure that everything is in order. I normally don't, but after this, I think I will always check. And make your dinner reservations early. We had about 230 back-to-back passengers on our particular cruise, so there were a lot of people to deal with at this, and they were great about that. So the host and hostess stations at the main dining room are great contacts, so do take advantage of that. It's been my pleasure showing you around what happens on a disembarkation day when you are doing a back-to-back. Squared away my dinner situation last night because I know the people, and I went down around 9 p.m. and they were still there. So I got my table set up. I don't have to wait in line today. The spa raffle I'll enter, and I've already had the tour. It's really a day of relaxation because the next 6 days we'll be going to Croatia and Slovenia and part of Italy. It's a little bit confusing as far as the muster station drill. Like I said, we still had to check in at the station, just didn't have to listen to anything. And they called me over the loudspeaker because they thought I needed to show my passport, which was a misunderstanding. I wish I've never had my name announced over the ship, so that was kind of fun. And then the weather is just inclement all of a sudden. It's actually raining outside a little bit. You can see from my view here. And it's kind of cold, but hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. We're off to Naples, I believe. And the crowd is really different than it was coming in. You know, we were all Americans, and now it's like an international crowd, but I like that. It makes it interesting. I feel like I know the staff well, and I like that, so it's kind of nice. Like, it's so high, you know. We're not new to this, and we're not all panicked, and we have to unpack and all those things you have to do. So this is really nice to have this extra little cruise on top of the other one. I kind of like that.
That's smiling, nothing to you.
So if you found this video helpful, informative, or you learned something, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more cruise information and helpful tips for your next cruise. Thank you so much for watching. Happy cruising, and until next time.